Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my Level Up family. I am so excited to spend some time with you today. And I want to talk to you today about something that separates the good from the great, right? The average from the unstoppable, and separates the dabblers from the game changers. You're here to change the game. You're here to change your life. You're here to change your business, and you're in a constant state of evolution. So I want to talk about something today that I am sure I've talked about many times, but I just had a bunch of notes and I just wanted to throw them together because I feel like it's so important. Today, we're going to talk about expectations and we're going to talk about standards. And I want to be very, very clear from the very beginning. If you want to do great things, if you want to build an extraordinary life, if you're here to lead, to impact, and to win, you must expect excellence from yourself. And I'm not talking about sometimes. I'm not talking about when it's convenient. I'm not talking about when it's easy. I'm not talking about when things go your way. Always. You must expect excellence from yourself. So expectations is like the root of excellence. What you expect from yourself sets the ceiling of your potential. Like, I want you guys to really think about that. So like, if you only expect to grow to a certain level, that's your ceiling. If you only expect to earn a certain amount, that's your ceiling. If you only expect to grow to a certain level this year, that's your ceiling. Okay. I want to repeat that because it's actually really good. What you expect from yourself sets the ceiling of your potential. Okay. Expectations are your internal thermostat. If you want to set those expectations low, your thermostat's low. And what's going to happen when you set it low is you're going to live in comfort. When you set that thermostat high, now it's getting hot. It's an internal thermostat that's getting hot, and you have to stretch, you have to grow, and you have to evolve. And so what happens in between the low and the high, you get that very uncomfortable feeling in your gut and in your soul. And a lot of times people avoid that because it's not supposed to feel like this. It's supposed to feel organic. No, it's not. You are not a potato. This is not organic. Success is not organic. Growth is not organic. Most people never come close to their potential. And it's not because they're not capable. Here's the thing. They've trained themselves to expect mediocrity. They don't have high expectations in friendships. They don't have high expectations in relationships. They don't have high expectations in their health. They don't have high expectations in their appearance. They don't have high expectations in their business. They don't have high expectations in their earning potential. We were all born capable. It takes work. It takes commitment. It takes effort. But when we train ourselves to have low standards and accept mediocrity in our life, that's what we're going to get. Okay. So what happens is when you train yourself to expect mediocrity, you've accepted average. And I want to tell you something. Average is really dangerous. Average is a trap. It's really sneaky because all of a sudden, it appears up out of nowhere. You're like, oh, it's average. This is what most people do. It's okay. It's comfortable. It's really crowded in average. And you were not born for average. What I always want this podcast to be is that voice, that reminder that you're not made for average. You're made for more. You might feel uncomfortable. You might want to throw up from time to time we feel like the stress is stress. I want you to realize that excitement and stress is excitement and anxiety, right? Sometimes we have that anxiety of going for the next level or anxiety of what it's going to take. It's kind of like the same feeling inside. You just need to switch it and be like, yeah, I'm not scared. I'm excited. I don't feel anxiety. I'm excited, and switch it over. When you expect excellence in your life, in your business, in your relationships, you start to show up differently. When you expect excellence, you ask more of yourself. You hold yourself to a higher standard. And not because you're forced to, but because you've decided to. And that when we hold ourselves to that higher standard, that is where transformation begins. Expectation isn't wishful thinking. It's belief in motion. When you expect differently, it's because you believe more. It's saying, I expect greatness from myself. And then what happens is you start acting accordingly. We've talked about this several times. We act at our belief level. If you don't believe you can, you won't. If you don't believe you're worthy, you won't take the steps. If you don't believe you can, you don't do it, right? You stay in that comfort zone. So expectation isn't wishful thinking. It is your belief in motion. And so we think about this. So why is excellence so important? It's really important. Why does it matter in our business, in our relationships, our mindset? It's how we show up every single day. All right. So excellence is a decision. It's not a talent. You don't, you guys know me. I love like making beds, or I like to be organized, or I like to be thorough, and I don't like to procrastinate. These things are not talents. It's not luck. It's not reserved for a few people. It's simply a decision. If you want to get up every day and make your bed amazingly, you can do it. People say, I'm not organized. Become organized. Excellence is a decision. It's a decision. Okay. You choose excellence every single day. Excellence is a mindset. It's how you show up when no one is watching. It's in the details. It's in the consistency. It's in the refusal to settle for average. And here's the thing. We live in a world full of mediocrity. People are doing just enough to get by. They're doing the bare minimum. But then there's you. What makes you different? Number one, you're here, you're listening, you're part of this level up family because you are not most people. You're here because you're building something bigger, something extraordinary. And that starts with choosing excellence, not once, but over and over and over and over again. People want to follow people who are excellent. So like, why? Why do people want to follow excellent people? Because here's one of the things, excellence builds trust. They know they can rely on you. They know you're going to be building a year from now. They know you're going to stay the course. When you show up with excellence in your business, your clients feel it. Your team feels it. You know what excellence says? I care. It says you can count on me. It says I raise bars. I plow through. Excellence says I will be the light of possibility. If you think about sloppy effort, missed deadlines, inconsistency, you know what that does? It ruins trust. It damages your brand. If you want to be excellent or not excellent, that's your brand. It's a decision. Excellence, on the other hand, builds reputation, right? So sloppiness damages your brand. Excellent builds a reputation that speaks before you even walk in the room. And so I don't care what business you're in, whatever it is, people don't just buy products, they buy you. And people invest their time with leaders who operate with excellence. So here's the truth. Excellence attracts excellence. Don't you want excellence in your business? Don't you want excellence in your life? When you raise your standards, you know what happens? Here's the fabulous thing. The world responds. You attract better clients. You attract better teammates. You attract better opportunities. You attract people who want to play and build at your level. And then guess what? You stop attracting those who don't. When people say to me, I bring people into my business and nobody takes the business seriously and they're not consistent. Sometimes take a good look, right? We say this all the time. You don't attract. Now, do I get some? Of course. You're not always going to enroll excellence. However, our standards play a really big part in it. The moment that you commit to excellence, you're sending a message to the world that I am ready for more. I am ready to level up. And let's be real. We don't become excellent on accident. You're just not going to wake up one day and be like, I am excellent. It is the combination and the consistent action of your habits and your decision. It takes effort. It takes energy. It takes sacrifice. But the rewards, friends, they're priceless. You're building your brand. Your brand builds your business. Okay. Excellence is who you become. And this is a really important part. Excellence is not about being perfect. Like I'm a top leader in my company, in my industry. I am far from perfect, but it is about being intentional. Excellence is not a destination. It's a standard. It's who you become in the process of stretching, failing, falling down, getting up, growing, and choosing to keep going when it's hard, when it's challenging, when you don't feel like it. You don't chase excellence to impress anyone. You do it because you respect yourself. It's not what other people think. Now, what other people think of you is obviously matters, but here's a line I've actually heard years ago. What other people think of me is not my business. We don't chase excellence to impress. We do it to show respect for ourselves because you're committed to your purpose, because you know that your future is shaped by the decisions, then the quality and the commitment of your daily habits. I want you to imagine something right now. I want you to imagine your future self. I want you to imagine the person and the leader and the business person that you are becoming. That version of you has everything you're working for. That person didn't get there by dabbling. That version of you is the result of thousands of choices to show up with excellence. So we are going to choose excellence today. We're going to choose excellence in our work. We're going to choose excellence in our thoughts. We are going to choose excellence in our conversations. We're going to choose excellence in how we serve others. We're going to raise our standard. We're going to get uncomfortable. We're going to go the extra mile. And then after we go the extra mile, we're going to go another mile. Because guess what? Most people won't. Most people won't. But I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. Will you? Will you? And I believe that you will because you're here to level up. You were born to lead because you were created for impact. Excellent isn't just important. Honestly, you guys, it's not just like, oh, it's just a great quality to have. It's essential. It separates the good from the great. And you, my friend, were born to be great and exceptional. So let's just talk about a few examples of this in network marketing. Okay. That's my profession. You could apply it to anything. But if you expect to hit a new rank, you won't wait until the last day of the month to scramble. You're going to plan, you're going to prepare, you're going to follow up, and you're going to consistently move toward that goal with belief and urgency. Okay. And if you expect to hit that new rank, you're going to set monthly goals, weekly goals, and even daily goals, and track them like you are a professional. You're also going to treat your business hours with the same respect as a CEO. No multitasking, no distractions. Do what you say you're going to do. Okay. With excellence, you're going to expect to grow your customer base. You're going to expect to grow your team, and not by accident. You are going to schedule focused activity. All right. So let's talk about standards, because standards and excellence kind of go hand in hand. So why do standards matter? Expectations are what you believe is possible. Standards are what you tolerate and accept. Okay. So you want to believe things are possible, but then what are you tolerating? What are you accepting? Your standards are like the foundation of a house. I always like to talk about foundation and building, right? And so if your standards aren't high, if it's cracked, if your house is unstable or it's neglected, everything you're going to build on top of that will crumble eventually. Without high standards, it will crumble. Okay. Standards are your non negotiable. They dictate how you behave when no one is watching. They dictate how you speak to yourself and how you show up in the world. So, low standards, you know what they do? They allow procrastination, they allow excuses, they allow blaming, they allow justifying, and you end up getting burnt out. High standards, they invite into your life discipline, ownership, resilience, and excellence. So I want you to really ask yourself, what are you allowing into your life that you wouldn't accept from others? Because here's the deal, you get what you tolerate. Raise your standards, and what happens kind of automatically is you are going to raise your life. When we were young, we used to dream of being anything, an astronaut, the president, a prince, princess. But as you get older, your dreams change, focusing less on running the world and more on how you can take your skills and ideas and turn them into something real. Instead of dreaming of going to space or owning a castle, maybe you start dreaming of owning your own business. You'll need a website, a payment plan, a logo, and a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be overwhelming and confusing, but thankfully, that is where today's sponsor, Shopify, comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. What if people haven't heard about my brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with easy to run email and social media campaigns. And what if I get stuck? Shopify's always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and get selling today at shopify.com/level up. Go to shopify.com/level up. Shopify.com/level up. So again, let's apply this and talk about this a little bit in the network marketing world. If your standard is to work your business 5 days a week, you will not let distractions come in, whether that's bad weather, good weather, an obstacle. You're not going to keep those things from reaching out, scheduling, and leading. Your team will model your consistency. If your standard is to follow up within 24 hours, you'll build trust. You're going to increase the amount of conversations you're having, and you will create a personal image. If your standard is to keep learning, you're not going to plateau. You're going to lead by example and always be pushing. I want to talk about plateau, like sometimes sales plateau, but I mean like you're in this constant state of evolution and growth. So how do we raise our standards? All right. So raising your standards doesn't mean like we're going to make a list of what we should do. It actually is about embodying and becoming someone who naturally does the things that lead to success. So some of the things we want to do is get honest. Like we sometimes need to just get that like real reality check with ourselves. Take the inventory in your life of where you're settling. Are you settling in your title? Are you settling in your rank? Are you settling with your activity? Are you settling with your earnings? What in your life is out of alignment with who you want to become? Are you settling with the goals that you're setting? Are you settling with the current team that you have? Are you lowering the bar if people aren't showing up? Set a new identity. Don't just try harder. Because some people say, just keep doing what you're doing. No, because if you don't change who you are, you're going to keep doing what you're doing and you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So I don't want you to just try harder. I want you to become different, right? Identify like drives behavior. So decide this is who I am now. And then start to do things differently, present differently, reach out differently, show up on Zooms and in person differently. Okay. Also, a daily commitment. Excellence doesn't happen occasionally, it's consistent. It's choosing the hard thing when the easy one is available. And it's not just one time, it's every single day. It also involves guarding your environment. The people that you spend time will influence your standards more than you realize. Surround yourself with people who make you level up by proximity. You're close. You guys, we talk about this all the time, the law of association. If you're going to hang out with 4 people with goals, chances are you'll be the 5th. If you're going to hang out with 4 people who procrastinate, chances are you're the 5th. If you're going to hang out with people who dream versus do, chances are you'll be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 leaders who raise the bar, chances are you'll be the 6th. If you hang out with leaders who are committed to growth, chances are you'll be the 5th. I keep saying 6th, I could count. Okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about progression. It's about refusing to live below your capacity. Like that's when we talk about mindset in this business. You were born with every single thing you need, but we settle in life. So let's talk about some examples in the network marketing profession. So maybe you're not used to doing in-person events, but if your new standard is visibility, connecting, building, you're going to push through the fear. You're going to schedule and show up. Even if you're nervous, the growth happens, right? When we're nervous and we do it anyway. If your new identity is, you know what? I want to be a 6-figure earner. You're going to start to show up with better posture, more confidence, more professionalism, more leadership. Honestly, we just came back from an event and I see at events all the time. You know who the top earners are. You know who they are. And people say, oh, it's easy. They can afford a wardrobe or they could afford this. I don't agree with that. They don't show up that way because they're top earners. Chances are they showed up like a top earner before they became one. Like you can see one in the crowd. You just can. Okay. If your commitment is to daily reach outs, then you're going to schedule them like appointments. You're not just going to squeeze them in when it's convenient and be just sending DMs in commercials of your shows. Okay. If you're going to build a circle of teammates who push you when you have high standards, who challenge you, who celebrate growth, not excuses. So let's talk about the standard of excellence, because excellence is a decision. It's a standard. It's how you do the little things. It's how you handle the hard things. It's how you stay grounded when things get messy. The standard of excellence isn't about applause. It's about becoming in alignment with who you want to become. It's the difference between someone who tries and someone who is. Excellence becomes your identity. Think about the people who inspire you. Think about the leaders you admire. They don't just wing it. They operate in business and in life with a deep-rooted commitment to their vision, their word, and their mission. That's excellence. And you're capable of that same standard if you're willing to demand it of yourself. And I hope you guys are seeing the demand it of yourself, expect it of yourself, right? So let's talk about some examples in network marketing. So leaders with excellence, they don't ghost their team during slow months. They double down. They over-deliver. They remain visible and enthusiastic. That is what builds trust, loyalty, and duplication. Leaders with excellence, they don't wing presentations. They master them. They don't rely on somebody else. They learn them. They don't rely on motivation. They move with discipline, whether they feel like it or not. And success is a journey of self-development, which all ties into excellence and standards. This is how we grow them, by actually becoming like a student of the industry, a student of personal growth and development. And here's what most people miss. Success isn't just about the strategy. Like it's about self. Who are you becoming, right? So like people chase tactics. We look for the next, right? The next best thing, the next best system, what are they doing? But real, lasting, fulfilling success, it's built in the unseen moments. It's working in the dark. It's the quiet discipline. It's the inner growth. It's the self-mastery. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're being, and you attract who you are. And who you are is shaped by your expectations and your standards. Self-development is a journey, and it's ongoing, and you're here. So you know the importance of it. You don't reach a peak and coast. We evolve, you sharpen, you grow. So again, let's talk about some examples in network marketing. Every podcast that you listen to, every book you read, every coaching call that you take seriously, that's not time wasted. That's you building a powerful version of you. And as you grow, your results grow. You journal every day to gain clarity on your goals and alignment. That's self-development. You show up to every team call with your camera on and your energy high. You study leadership, you study sales, influence, and you apply what you've learned without delay. So again, when we think about the network marketing profession, like how to apply excellence, how to apply standards, let's talk about prospecting. Raise your standard for how many people you reach out to daily. Be consistent, be intentional, not random, not reactive. Follow up. Set a standard for how you respond, your level of professionalism. You're running a business. Your speed and your energy in responding to people matter. Events, whether it's your team Zoom or your company or convention, treat every event like it's a launch pad. Promote it like it's the Super Bowl. Leaders build for events. Recognition. Raise the bar for how you celebrate your team. Raise the bar for yourself. If there's an opportunity for you to earn something, earn it. This sets a culture and a standard of excellence. Mindset. Expect to succeed. Refuse to allow doubt to drive you or your business. Develop a bulletproof mindset and surround yourself with mentors and leaders who hold you high but hold you accountable. When you're enrolling, when you're looking to recruit people into your business, treat every conversation like it's a life-changing opportunity for them. Bring your belief, bring your vision, and bring your passion to every invitation and every conversation. When you're enrolling people, set a high standard for how you launch them, how soon you launch them, how they get started. Create urgency, communicate, partner with them. Don't just send them a link. Walk them through your mission and your vision. Duplication. Raise your standard for teaching systems. Make sure your team isn't just guessing. They're equipped, they're supported, they're empowered. Friends, I love you. I believe in you, and I am proud of who you are becoming. You are powerful, you are capable, and you're worthy of the life that you were born to lead. It is your time to raise your standard and build yourself to be the most excellent leader that is constantly evolving. I believe in you.